Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your big homie Crooks the Great, aka CTG, and I'm back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 6/Fight Night video. You guys heard that right. We got some new news regarding UFC 6, as well as a little bit of information about EA Sports Fight Night as well. Now, in order for me to bring you guys this information, we gotta first take a look at Mike Straw's Twitter page here. Now, if you guys don't know who Mike Straw is, he is a reporter, a gaming reporter that's known for leaking information about EA Sports games. I made a video on him last year. He went live on a stream last year, I think around September, talking about that we should be expecting UFC 6 to be dropped this year, and then we started talking about EA Sports kind of lurking in the shadows for potentially making another EA Sports Fight Night game coming out in 2027. So as you guys can see here, he has 12,000 followers on his Twitter, so this guy isn't somebody that's really making stuff up as he goes. He is a senior editor for Inside Gaming and Inside Gaming T, and he's he has his own YouTube and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check him out, you guys can do so. Guys like Nas and a lot of people are following this guy. So let's go ahead and scroll down here and we'll go through tweet for tweet. So you see right here, he says EA Sports, and this was tweeted 19 hours ago. And then if we go up right here, he says the next 5 to 6 weeks are loaded. So then you see here, he retweeted somebody that says, hey, Mike T, just wondering. Hold on, let me click on this, that way you guys see it. Hey Mike, just wondering if you have insight that UFC 6 will release this year. Always enjoy your scoops and intel. And he retweeted and put his own tweet. EA has marketing ready to go. Not 100% on when they plan on it at the moment. They are particular about not cannibalizing their other sports titles, but it might be unavoidable. So what this tweet means, for those of you guys that don't know, is they have the marketing ready to go to push UFC 6, which means that they are planning to drop the game this year. If they have marketing ready to go, they're ready to start the promo for it and ready to launch the game. Now, this makes sense and lines up with what happened with UFC 5. I believe UFC 5 came out in October or November, and we started getting teasers and announcements around this time a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. So it lines up perfectly with where UFC 5 was at, because the reason why they drop it this early is because, they want to promo the game to get people excited. And then normally what they do is they do beta access. They have you sign up for a beta, and the beta will come somewhere around August to September, and then normally the game gets launched in October, right? So basically beta testing for UFC is just basically to make sure that the servers can handle all of the player capacity before launch. That's normally what the betas for UFCs are. So they're not looking for like gameplay changes and all that stuff. They're just mainly, like I said, focusing on making sure the servers can handle all of the traffic that's going to be on it. So this one right here is really important, or I thought was pretty interesting for him to say. They're trying to be particular of not cannibalizing their other sports titles. So what that means is that normally around August to September, EA Sports does drop Madden, and they do have EA Sports FC, which is the soccer game. So normally those are dropped late summer. So that's what he means by not cannibalizing their other sports titles. But unfortunately, if this is true and they have the marketing ready to go, UFC is going to do it. And UFC is worldwide, I would say, is the bigger game than Madden. Obviously not more than soccer, because soccer is a worldwide sport as well. But they don't want to cannibalize Madden, because Madden is a US based sport. So it's not going to hit as worldwide as a UFC and EA Sports FC game. So let's go ahead and check out his next tweet right here, where somebody says, is UFC 6 still a 2025 game or a 2026 game? And how is the current situation regarding new Fight Night? Is the new EA boxing game still a thing? And when will they announce UFC 6 and Fight Night? So he went ahead and retweeted, I am of an understanding that it's still a 2025 release for UFC 6. I haven't been told anything to suggest it won't be, though I will ask. And then he responded right here, Fight Night, it's all quiet on that front. So as we can see here, you know, UFC 6 2025 release, it's all but pretty much guaranteed. It lines up with every single thing that we know about EA Sports UFC games. So it pretty much is a given conclusion that we're going to be getting UFC 6 this year, which is really exciting. For those of you guys that don't know, I came from the UFC community, so I'm really excited for UFC 6 to be coming out because I love mixed martial arts just as much as I love boxing. So I'm looking forward to playing that game. But it was really interesting right here what he said about Fight Night. I know everybody has been clamoring for EA Sports to jump back into the Fight Night scene because it's really nostalgic. Fight Night games are really nostalgic. You guys know we're getting Fight Night Forever at the end of this year. But everybody has been clamoring for EA to make another Fight Night game to kind of just rival Undisputed. They really want it. They really want, in a perfect world, people want Undisputed and Steel City to be going up against EA Sports and Fight Night. So that way both games have competition, which in turn is going to create pressure on them to make better gameplay games, which benefit us as a community. So that's why more and more people want more and more traffic boxing game wise. But he said right here that EA Sports has been quiet on the Fight Night front. Now that's not exciting. That pretty much means that they're not working on Fight Night right now. They're not working on the Fight Night game. They're more of kind of just pushing it to the side, kind of just in talks with it for right now, but nothing has come out in terms of gameplay wise, or even like pretty much he's saying that developing hasn't started on Fight Night yet. But that goes in line with what he said last year, right? And it goes in line with what's going on with UFC. So for those of you guys that don't know, the same company that made the same branch of EA that makes EA Sports Fight Night games, they also make the EA Sports UFC games. So it's EA Sports Vancouver. So EA Sports Vancouver makes both Fight Night as well as UFC. So if they are dropping UFC 6, which it most likely looks like they are, then they would have no time and resources to spend on starting a Fight Night game. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not talking about making a Fight Night game, because, you know, from what we've heard before, EA Sports was keeping an eye on Steel City and Undisputed to see the way that the community was receiving it, and to see like the record sales or the game sales and stuff like that, to see if it would even be worth making another Fight Night game. But we were hearing that we weren't going to get another Fight Night game until 2027. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what's going on with UFC 6, right? So if UFC 6 is coming out this year, you got UFC 6 generally is going to have the span of a full year lifetime where they're fully focusing on it. You know, they're making gameplay changes, they're adding new content, you know, they're fixing bugs, they're fixing the servers. They're really going full force into making the game better. And then 2027 would be around when we would start hearing them, you know, being in talks of making a Fight Night game / a Fight Night game being completed. So it makes sense that there's really no news to report on a new Fight Night game, because UFC 6 is going to come out. So for my boxing heads out there, don't get discouraged. At some point we are going to be getting another EA Sports Fight Night game. It's just not going to happen right now, because they are going to be pushing UFC 6 to the fucking moon. They're going to be pushing EA Sports UFC 6 to the moon, because right now, you know, that's the game that they're focusing on. They need to be able to make their money back from what they spent for UFC. So UFC 6 is going to come out, then you'll start to hear more rumbles and more news regarding EA Sports Fight Night, which is going to be coming. I promise you, it's more than likely going to be coming, because of the success of Undisputed. So really big news, man. Really big news for all my MMA heads out there. We're getting UFC 6, man, and damn, it has been a long time coming, man. I can't wait for it to drop. I can't wait for the beta access. I'm gonna be trying to get some content in there for you guys once it does. Once we do get news, I'll keep you guys up to date on the news for UFC 6, as well as get you guys some gameplay when I do get on the beta and stuff like that, as well as keeping you guys up to date on the Fight Night news as well. Anytime I hear anything about Fight Night, I got you guys. But yeah, be excited, man. Combat Sports, we're coming, bro. We're coming. We got Undisputed, and we're gonna have UFC 6, so it's looking good. It's looking good. But let me know your guys' opinion. Are you guys excited for UFC 6? Are you guys excited for the news that there is gonna be a Fight Night coming at some point? Or are you guys just kind of like, you know what? We'll get excited as it gets closer and it's actually announced. Let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna be responding to every single comment on this video. But that's it from me, my people. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to slap that subscribe button, as well as slap that like button. It would be much appreciated, so that way this video does get tossed into the YouTube algorithm and more people get to enjoy the great content that I have for you guys here on the channel. But until next time, my people, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from, and I will see you guys in the next video.